I'm Adam Florence, the Culinary Arts Instructor, and I'm here today to talk about turkeys. Is this star of your dinner turkey? Well, I'm here to walk you through step-by-step seasoning, roasting, resting, and carving your big investment to try and help take out some of the stress of the already busy feat of creating a large family dinner. The first thing we want to do is get our bird out of the fridge about an hour before. This lets it temper so we get more even cooking. This also gives us a chance to preheat our oven to 425 degrees so we can get a nice sear on the bird. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to carve the wishbone out. This is going to make it easier to carve the bird when we take it out of the oven. The breast will be a lot easier to come off. So I need a boning knife, and I need to lift up the skin around the neck and find that wishbone. And then once I find that wishbone, I'm going to cut down each side so I can pull it out. Once I've got it cut on each side, pull the wishbone out. Use my knife for that last little bit. And I can put that right in the bottom of the pan for our sauce. Next thing I want to do is season the cavity of the bird and take out the neck. I'm going to take the neck and chop it up with a cleaver to increase the surface area to help us with our gravy. This step is optional. So to the cavity of the bird, I'm also going to stuff it with 2 onions and a lemon. This will help to add aromatics and flavor the bird from the inside as well as it cooks. All right, let's stuff this bird. Got our lemon in there. And a couple more onions. Now, since turkey is such a lean meat, we're going to want to create a rich, flavorful butter to help to protect that. We're going to need 1 pound of room temperature soft butter with a little bit of salt and pepper, zest and juice of 2 lemons, zest of an orange, and then some herbs of your choice. I'm going to use rosemary, thyme, and parsley. Make sure you wash your lemons and oranges before you use them. They've come a long way to get here. We have no idea what they've come in contact with. All right. So, juice our oranges and our lemons. Just hold your hand over to prevent any seeds from coming into it. And finally chop our herbs. Some fresh rosemary, the size of these sticks, some fresh parsley, and some fresh thyme. Probably about 1/4 cup of each herb. And finally chop. And we can mix all that into our butter. And just get your hands in there and massage the butter with the herbs and seasoning. Smells good. Smell those herbs and citrus. It's really going to brighten up that turkey. All right. So now I'm going to take our bird and I want to separate the skin from the meat. So I'm going to start in the back and get my fingers under there. I want to be careful that I don't break the skin, because that'll cause the butter to leak out. So just use your hands to carefully separate the skin from the meat. And I can flip it around and come in through the neck and do the same thing. All right. Now that the skin is relaxed, I'm going to take the butter cram it under the skin. Now hold the skin and just massage the butter around the breast meat. And take another chunk. We're reserving probably about a third of it. Stick it in through the neck. And same thing, massage it all over the bird. And for this last little bit of butter, I'm just going to throw it in the microwave for about 20 seconds just to relax it so I can spread it over the rest of the carcass. So I reserved a little bit of our herb butter and melted it, and I'm just going to brush it over the bird to help give us a nice crispy skin. Drizzle. And then I'm going to season the top of the bird with salt and pepper. We also want to put some aromatics, so some carrots, celery, and onion underneath the bird. That'll catch the drippings and help us later when we make our rich turkey gravy. Just rough chop our vegetables. All right. Just lay our vegetables on the bottom of our roasting pan. And then put the turkey on a wire rack and tuck the wings underneath. By cooking the turkey on a wire rack, it helps the air get to all parts of the bird, making sure that there's crispy skin all over it. Now we're going to take the turkey and we're going to put it into a 425-degree oven for 10 minutes to sear the bird and to just help crisp it up. Just going to finish with a little bit more butter, and then I'm going to drizzle it with some olive oil to help it prevent from burning. Olive oil shot. And then turkey into the oven, 10 minutes at 425, just here. $425, set a timer for 10 minutes. I have an 11 kg turkey. It's going to take about half an hour a kilogram. So this bird here will take about 5 to 6 hours depending on your oven, and that'll feed about 18 to 20 people comfortably with leftovers. If you have a 5 kg bird, that'll take about 2.5 hours, and that'll feed a family of 8 to 10 with leftovers. So turkey has been in for 10 minutes at 425. I'm going to turn the oven down to 350 for continued cooking. I'm also going to wrap the breast meat in some beautiful TRU thick sliced bacon. This will help to flavor, protect, and also make a beautiful gravy when we're done. So I'm just going to wrap strips of big thick bacon over top of this breast meat here. And what will happen is as the bacon cooks, the fat will render out and help to baste the bird with the bacon fat. And then all that fat will drip down into the bottom, and we can use that for our gravy. So turn my oven down to 350 and turkey back in for about 5 to 6 hours depending on your oven. What we're looking for is an internal temperature of 165 degrees. I like to bring it out around 160 degrees because there'll be a carryover cooking. The turkey will go up at least 10 degrees, probably a little bit more with the size of this bird when you bring it out of the oven. So if I take it out at around 160, again in the thickest part of the breast meat, I'm going to get up to at least 165, and that'll help to optimize a nice juicy bird. See you in a couple hours. Huh? Now let's take the turkey off and let it rest. Oh. So the bird doesn't need to be piping hot because we're going to serve it with a hot gravy. Take off the bacon, the Pope's nose, which is a little Pope's nose back here. All these little crispy bits, and we don't usually eat. I'm going to throw those into a pot so we can make our gravy. Also going to take the wing tips, throw them in there. And depending on if you like to eat these or not, you can throw the wings in as well. Take our bacon and chop it up. Throw it into the pan. And then I'm going to take out all the onions and lemons from inside. And then I'll just put my turkey off to the side to rest. Now I'm going to chop up all the onions and lemon from inside and throw that in to make my gravy as well. And to this, I'm going to add 1 bottle of your favorite hard cider, and all the drippings from underneath the turkey. We'll bring this up to a simmer and let it reduce by half. All those bits from the bottom of the roasting pan. All right. Now, let's bring that up to a simmer and let it reduce down. Take some of the fat off the top of our stock that we can reserve and use for gravy. Just a ladle around the corners, get the fat. All that butter, turkey fat, will make a delicious gravy. So our stock is reduced down by half. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a masher and smash up all the vegetables and the turkey and try and extract as much flavor out of this as possible so it ends up in our gravy and not in the garbage can. Smashy, smashy, smashy. Once I've smashed it up, really mashed up all the vegetables, this will also help to thicken our gravy as well. What I'm going to do is I'm going to strain this into a pot where I can thicken it with our roux. So I'm going to squish while I am straining this to try and get as much of that juice out of there as possible. Extract as much flavor as we can. There's the making of our gravy. So I've got my pan drippings back into the pot. I'm going to add to that a liter of chicken stock. Bring that up to a simmer. And while that's simmering, I'm going to take the reserved turkey fat that we had, and I'm going to mix some flour into it to help thicken. You want equal parts by volume of flour to fat. And mix that together and make my roux. The French name for this is beurre meunier. It's our flour and fat mixture that we use after to thicken. And then I'll just take a little bit of the roux out and just slowly add it into the stock so I can control the thickness of it. So I'm going to take a little bit of the beurre meunier, put it into a bowl, and then I'll take my simmering turkey stock and a whisk to loosen the beurre meunier. This needs a little more turkey stock in there. Thin out the beurre meunier, and then I can add that into the stock and whisk it. And as it comes up to temperature, the flour will thicken our gravy. Once it comes out to simmer, I'll let it go for a couple minutes. That'll help to cook out that starchy, floury taste. There we go. So what I want to do is have it to be able to cover and coat the back of a spoon. So I just take the gravy on my spoon, coats the back of a spoon. We know we're thick enough. So I'm just going to let this simmer for about 5 to 10 minutes and then season it with salt and pepper. And to season with salt and pepper, taste. Excellent. So what's turkey without cranberry sauce? We're going to create cranberry apple honey sauce. First, we want to take a heavy bottom saucepan. We want to add a little bit of star anise and some cinnamon on high heat. What's going to happen is the oils are going to be released from the spices as we roast them to help flavor the cranberry sauce. So just roast those for about 2 minutes on high heat. Next, I have about 1 cup or 150 grams of TRU honey. I'm going to add that to our spices and almost caramelize our honey a bit. I want to get a little bit of amber color on the honey. That'll help to add more depth. So next I've got 4 cups or a liter of cranberries. We're going to add those into our honey, our hot honey, and they're going to blister and release their juices. While this is working, I'm going to chop up those apples. And I'll add those in there too. 2 finely sliced apples. We'll add it to our cranberry sauce to help thicken and take out a little bit of the bitterness from the cranberries. Cut my apples into quarters, take out the core. Slice them up. into small dice. I'm going to add 2 apples into our cranberry sauce, bring it up to a simmer, and we're going to simmer it for about 4 or 5 minutes here. So now it's reduced down for about 5 minutes, and I add some port to this to really bring out some deep, rich berry flavors. Now let's come back up to a simmer. I'm going to let it simmer for 10 minutes, and I'll take it off the heat and throw it in the fridge to cool down. By the time it's cool, our turkey should be ready to carve and then eat. And now it's time to carve the bird. So since we've taken out the wishbone earlier, it's going to be really easy to remove the breasts in their entirety, so we can take them off. So I'm going to slice along the center of the meat, right, and the keel bone, or the breastbone of the turkey. And I just need to get it started with my knife so I can peel it off. You just want to start with your knife, but since it's cooked, it should peel off quite easily. So we'll take both breasts off. And I'll take the drums off, looking for the articulation in the meat so I can find the joints. And then put my knife through the joint, not through the bone. Now I want to take the thighs, pop them out of the socket, and find where it connects to the back. Peel that off. And the other one, pop out of the joint. Peel that off. So all I have left is the carcass. Now I can cut off the big drums. And finding where the articulation is, where the joints meet, and peeling that off. We know it's cooked because it removes itself quite easily. And then from here, you can just peel out that thigh bone. Reserve that for your turkey stock. And then we've got boned out dark meat. You can slice. And we can take one of our breasts, or our white meat. I'm going to cut that into nice slices so everybody gets a good piece of that crispy skin. And all those fresh herbs and butter that's marinated and penetrated through the meat as it's been cooking. And place this on to your favorite platter with some fresh herbs that are inside of our butter marinade. So here we have our cranberry sauce, our turkey, and our gravy. With a little planning, Christmas cooking can be merry. Just remember, it's not what's on your table, it's who's around your table. Enjoy. Cheers.